What's up, push pull squad fans, and happy new year. I know I haven't posted in a while, but this year I'm getting the channel back up and running, and I want to post a video every 1 to 2 weeks. So please let me know the content that you want to see, and I'm going to do my best to share it. So here I'm sharing with you my mobility routine that I've been doing for the past 5-6 years. I usually do it as a warm-up before my workout, but I do try to do it on a daily basis if I can. It's super simple but also extremely effective, and all it consists of is taking the different joints of the body through their full range of motion. Here I'm starting with my neck, and I'm going to work my way down all the way to my ankles. You'll be surprised how stiff some of these areas of the body feel just from a lack of movement over time. Most people haven't moved many of their joints through a full range of motion on a daily, weekly, monthly, and more often than not, yearly basis. Myself, as a physiotherapist, see tons of people in pain on a daily basis, and one of the first things that I'll do with the person is ask them to show me their range of motion, how much movement that they have. And more often than not, many areas of the body are extremely stiff, and that really just comes from a lack of movement. Again, more often than not, the injuries that I see or the pains that I see are not traumatic injuries where something happened and now that led to pain, but it's really pain that builds up over time through a lack of movement and a lack of range of motion. So the antidote to that is really just getting our joints moving, at least on a weekly basis, through a full range of motion. Very simple. So here I'm taking my shoulders through just shoulder circles. Again, most people have a very sedentary lifestyle and don't lift their shoulders overhead often enough, and that's an extremely important and fundamental movement of the shoulder. Here I'm just going in the other way, in the other direction. This is just a movement that I basically just made up, and you could add in whatever types of movements that you want, things that feel good or things that feel a little bit stiff. Feel free to add them in and practice them. This is a super stiff movement for me, I have to admit, but it's just the hand behind the back trying to touch the hands together. It's actually called the Apley scratch test that we check for in physiotherapy. So I try to do this movement basically on a daily basis if I can, because it is pretty stiff and I don't want it to get more stiff than that. This is a movement that I learned from someone named Ido Portal, who you could look him up on the internet. He's probably one of the best movers on the planet, and this is just a spinal wave. So it's practicing moving through each of the vertebrae of the spine. Most of the time we move through sections or specific regions of the spine, and all the motion comes from there, whereas other areas are extremely stiff. So and that leads to pain very, very often. So this is just getting our spine able to move through each section of the spine, so when we move, it's not overloading just one specific area. And I can make a video on this to show how to start practicing it and learning it, because it does take a little bit of practice. This is one that I made up again, which is just like a lateral movement of the spine, just getting the different sections of the spine moving again. Then here I'm going to go into a full rotation. So I'm just rotating my spine as much as I can. My hips, knees, ankles are also involved in the movement. And this is something, again, we don't rotate normally on a daily basis through a full range of motion. And this is a movement many people are extremely stiff in. Again, very simple. It's just rotating the spine. Then I'm going to move down to the hips, then knees and ankles. And these are just some hip circles, hula hoop type of motion, but whatever type of movement that you want to do at the hip. What's important about this routine is it also creates motor control of different areas of the body. Many people that are stiff or haven't moved an area, they actually kind of forget how to engage those muscles or move those joints around. So that's another benefit of doing this often. It's just relearning how different parts of your body move. Here I'm just moving my ankles. You can't see it in the video. Then what I do is hang from my pull-up bar. This is again a fundamental movement which actually decompresses the whole body, especially when we're sitting and sedentary the whole day. Amazing movement here. I'm doing just some scapular pull-ups and just moving around on the pull-up bar, getting comfortable and really just loosening up the shoulders and upper back. This is really a fundamental movement. I think everybody should incorporate this into their routine. Then what I'll do to end off is basically a squat, or just getting the lower body moving a little bit. So we need the ability to extend and hang, but we also need the ability to compress into a deep squat. Most people are extremely stiff in this movement, and to get down, they'll have to turn their feet outwards. So this is something to practice, which I'll make more videos on it, but really being able to squat with those feet facing forward and just opening up the hips, knees, and ankles and just loosening up that area. Then I'll go into a deep lunge, and most people are very stiff in that hip extension, in the hip flexor region. So I'm just getting some movement through there and loosening up. So again, I really encourage you to give this routine a try. Movement is medicine, motion is lotion. Go through it. It'll take just 5 minutes, and let me know if you have any questions about it. Happy New Year and new videos to come.